You'll make America great again. Let's build it. ICE agents, baby. MAGA ICE agents, baby. Illegal stop. Turn around and listen. Trump is back and I'll put you in prison for crossing the border this time. Charging all the illegals while the liberals whine. Will I ever stop? Hell no. Lock them all up and send them home. To all the Democrats, I hope you're listening this time. Harboring illegal is a federal crime. Cash will be confirmed real soon. Investigating all you do nothing but fools. Elon is triggering snowflakes, exposing all the money that USA takes. Bondi Hague says it's Tulsi on the way. The Democrats are done cause my staff don't play. Illegals try and cross my borders, all will solve it. Fuck around and find out when my VP resolves it. Yeah. MAGA ICE agents, baby. Yeah. MAGA ICE agents, baby. Yeah. MAGA ICE agents, baby. Yeah. Now the Democrats are freaking, cause the lies of DEI and all the fraud I'm leaking. Quick to find them all, they're shaking. I'm locking dams up for the laws they're breaking. Genders, this is still only do. Men are not allowed in a female's bathroom. Crazy that this had to be a law. Hunter might be pardoned, but not the paper straw. Plastic is coming back real soon. You brainwash all the money that Sleepy Joe sent you. TDS is on the new high, watching all the lips cry. Should I stop? Nah, I just wave high, watching all the snowflakes smell. Well, I help America try to tighten its belt. The Dems don't want to play ball, so I continue to RFK. Eat more healthy, all Gaza's strip. Don't worry, I got you. Pelosi and Schumer can no longer haunt you. Freedom! Let's try this one more time. Me with the truth when the Democrats lie. Ready for the impeachment they'll try. I can promise one thing, AOC is gonna cry. If there is a problem, I promise I'll solve it. America is back and I'm just getting started. Yeah. MAGA ICE agents, baby. Yeah. Yo, man, let's make America great again. Word.
And how's everyone doing? Hey guys, Monday night, as much as I hate Mondays to begin with, the only thing I look forward for Mondays is my lives with you guys, to be honest. So before we start the podcast with some very pathetic news, but I also got some uplifting news to go with the pathetic news, because obviously I'm happy in a way, and I know you guys don't see it. And I mean, everybody's just getting the news now with the budget, but let's use some common sense. And there's always, Mr. Freedom, Mr. Jeff Freedom always analyzes and brings out the positives, but it's also common sense when I bring out the positives. So before we do that, let's welcome everyone to Monday Night Podcasts, to our freedom fighters, to our patriots, to our common sensors, to our purebloods, our once upon a time purebloods, and of course our American family. So let's do some shout outs, guys, before we get started. And the first shout out is going to go to Judy Horn, all the way from Kentucky. How you doing, Judy? Miss May, Gilles Bourgeois, Mr. Bert Viano, Denny the Jet Cormier, Roland, Joan, Kathy from Kenora, Ontario, Sylvia from the island, Miss Lindsay, also from the island. How you doing, Anna Gallant, Dan Marsh, Dale, all the way from Nova Scotia, brother from a different mother, also Sean with Denny the Jet from Oshawa. How you doing, May from Somerset, Mac, Miss Tadaz, Brenda Pryor, Vincent, brother from a different mother, Mudia Dag, Michelle from Ontario, Miss Sharon from out west, Camaro from Nova Scotia, Miss Juanita, who else? Marion, Ron from the Peg area, Miss Eagles from Ontario, Yolanda Martin, brother from a different mother. How you doing, Ricky Porter? Bob and Lori from the Grand Falls area, Brent all the way from United States, of course, North Carolina, Joel, brother from a different mother, Linda from Pennsylvania, Dan Sear. Who else there? Miss Denise, Andrea from Penfield, New Brunswick, Ruby, Cecile, of course, Miss Kathy, Ice Ice Baby. I hope you guys love that that song. How you doing, Scott Bennett, Miss Nancy, Gerald, Brun, yeah. Where's my Trump wig? That's a good question. I don't even know where my Trump wig is anymore, to be honest with you. How you doing, Tamara from Indiana? So yeah, hope you guys liked my intro because I thought it was pretty damn funny, to be honest with you. Again, I like Mexican people. Don't get me wrong. There's some good, hardcore working Mexican people. I like Spanish people. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of bad people, you know, the gangsters and stuff like that. But there's, some good, hardworking Mexican people. Some. But I take the Mexicans before the Africans anytime. Let's just put it that way. If I had to pick between the two, 100% would be the Mexican people before the African people and the Punjabis. If you really want to know. So if you just started watching me, by the way, if stuff like what I just told you about, taking the Mexicans over the Africans bothers you, you are definitely not watching the right podcast and the right person, because obviously I don't have a filter. I have 3 personalities, going from Jeff Freedom, which is pretty much unfiltered. Got the old Archie Bunker in the good old 70s. And you got Don Cherry, who, says it as it is. I want that Trump hat. Where did you get it, Jeff Freedom? That's a good question. All my Trump stuff is actually from you guys, from the followers. They send me this stuff. I've got coins right here from the followers, from, I've got this penny that was sent to me by Sean. This 1 ounce silver that has gold, has Trump on it. Another coin with Trump on it. Another coin, you guys can't see that, with Trump on it. Another silver, and that's from all you guys. I cherish this stuff. Anything you guys send to me, hats, Don Cherry stuff, with here on the side of me from Sean from Oshawa. But anyway, that's it for that. It is what it is. So what just passed within the past half an hour is the most drastic Canadian budget to ever hit Canada's history in entirely. All right, just the most ridiculous budget that could possibly ever be tabled in history, in Canadian politics. That is, obviously. It is what it is, but I like it. I like that the budget passed, guys, because not only is it going to expose, all right, it's not only going to expose the parties that went for it, the Green Party with drunk Elizabeth May, but the NDPs, you understand? It's going to expose all of them, all right? So I like it. I like it because you know what? What's going to happen here is exactly what happened in the United States. So it's going to be drastic for all of us. I told you, we're going to feel the pinch. We're going to feel the pinch for a year. I've been telling you guys that when Carney came in, I said it specifically for the people that follow me. Carney will be in there for about a year. Give it a year, okay? And he's not only going to do so much damage, to also going to do exactly what Jagmeet Singh, I'm not even going to pronounce his name because I really don't give a shit, did for the NDP party by demolishing and their party completely. But what Mark Carney is going to do is going to completely shatter the Liberal Party to probably like 40 to 50 seats, just like Justin Trudeau did back in December when they're down to like 29, 30 seats. All right. And then we had those boomers, they must have got their COVID 10th shot. And then they all revitalized themselves when Carney came in. So, oh man, this guy's going to do better than Trudeau, even though, Trudeau's the, main advisor and the handler of Trudeau was Mark Carney. All right. Just to let you know, Mark Carney was always the handler of Justin Trudeau. All right. In the background. First, it was Chrystia Freeland from 2016 to 2020. Then it became clear that Chrystia Freeland needed to go. So obviously Mark Carney came in the picture. But either way, it's going to be bad for Canada. I actually had someone send me and said, look what this airhead did. She said, I am so glad the budget pass is going to make Canada. Listen, I looked on her file, and of course she was not just a boomer, she was a dinosaur. All right, let's just put it that way. So with that being said, we are going to feel the pinch, but I can promise you, and I'm going to tell you straight up, there will be a spring election. Mark my words. If anyone wants to put $100 on it, there will be an election. You know, and someone said, how come you're not on Rumble? I should be on Rumble. People are telling me my Rumble account's having trouble, and I don't understand it. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But you know what? The YouTube is more than enough fine for me, to be honest with you. I'd rather be on the YouTube anyway, more followers. Not everybody goes on Rumble. But I'm just going to let you guys know that we are going to have a spring election. I kind of mentioned it before, but I wasn't sure. And I'm kind of glad the budget passed, because let's just do a little reverse psychology. Let's just do an analogy. Let's just switch things around. Let's just pretend the budget didn't pass. And let's pretend the budget didn't pass. All right. The budget didn't pass. There would have been an election. We would have heard 2 months of straight talking bad about Pierre Poilievre. Because that's all the news, the fake news have been doing. I've already told you guys, roasting marshmallows is the best thing you could do at TV stations, right? Roasting marshmallows is the best thing you can do, because that's all they're going to be doing is smearing Pierre Poilievre's image until his leadership race review up in January, which is not going to go anywhere. They're going to try to bring Doug Ford in. That's never going to happen. They're going to try their best. It's never going to happen. Everybody sees what Doug Ford really is. All right. Except for a few immigrants. So either way, it doesn't matter. UK people fighting back, huge protests, not peaceful. They are taking back control. Exactly, Debbie. I mean, if people seen what I put on my status, people were worried about the digital ID. That's never going to happen. And I wish they tried to force it. I wish they did try to force it, because if they try to force it, I'd be leading the pack this time. Like I kind of led New Brunswick and the Newfoundlanders and all the truckers from the Maritimes to the Ottawa. And I got arrested the first day I got there. But I can guarantee you, I learned from my mistake about next time. I know what to do to not get arrested, obviously, not bring my damn cell phone with me and turn off the location. But I guarantee the next one's not going to be so peaceful. So I hope for God, because like I said, I'm in a group of around 10,000 alpha males. All right. And we have an underground thing that if anything ever happened, we've got ex-police, ex-military, ex-firemen, guys that are really got a lot of testosterone. All right. Just let's put it this way. So I kind of hope things happen, but they're not. All right. They're not going to happen, but it'd be pretty fun. I'm not going to need no Pat King. I'm definitely not going to need no karaoke singer that people think is a hero for doing a GoFund page. And I'm definitely not going to need a red Canadian truck driver, Chris, whatever his name, Barber, to lead, which he's never led. I think if anyone followed Pat King will know for a fact that those, I've said it from the start, they infiltrated what we started. Pat started, to be honest with you, Pat started, so I'll never take credit for that. But before Pat even started, I'm the one that me and a girl named Patty are the ones that started. And also, I can't take anything back from Cindy Freedom and Ken and Bonnie from Fredericton. We're the ones that had that first call to do these rallies in Moncton, which were big rallies from 3,500 to the first one to 5,000, 5,500 to the second one. And that was an inspiration for that truck convoy that started, because we did these protests back in December of 2021. And that was a big rally. And of course, what was happening in Toronto with the guys there. And I'm not going to take a lot off of Chris Donkey Teeth Sky. He always infiltrated those rallies down in Ontario and Toronto, even though I really know who were the main guys, like Lamont Daigle, were the main organizers for the Toronto. But either way, let's just put it this way. It's never going to happen. How you doing, Charlene? So anyway, so I'm kind of glad it passed. I know Denise just said it's going to be a tough winter. Yeah, it's going to be a dark. It's literally going to be a dark winter. Let's just put it this way. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be you're going to feel the pinch. You're probably feeling the pinch now, guys. But listen, I'm going to give you the best protest. Remember our head on Saturday? Where was that? Nova Scotia? No, that protest was farmers on the 22nd of Saturday. I don't know where that is in Nova Scotia. Camaro Chevy Girl, because I really don't care about that farmers protest. Again, that's just a peaceful protest. Camaro Chevy Girl. Anything peaceful protest, I don't waste my time circle jerking, holding up signs and freezing out. It is what it is. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but that's the way it is. Peaceful doesn't look. Does it look peaceful in London right now, in the UK? And they're getting shit done. And does it look peaceful in Italy? Does it look peaceful in Nepal? Did it look peaceful in Argentina? Did it look peaceful in Colombia? Did it look peaceful in Brazil? Where else are they messing things up? In Germany? No, it's not peaceful. You're not getting all the news because they're not going to show that stuff. But it's peaceful don't get you anywhere except headaches and getting arrests. And the stuff that they're doing to Mexico, does Mexico look like it's peaceful? I had a thing of popcorn of watching the guys beating up the police. It was so funny on how they take in one police at a time. The police, of course, were in groups. So what they do, it was very smart, is they go as a gang, they grab one, take him out, beat them up like the police were doing to us, not us, because I was, banned from Ottawa, but they take one at a time, beat the hell out of them, go in, grab another one, take them out. If you're watching the Mexican protest. So yeah, it's great. I love it. I love every single bit of it. I mean, not all heroes wear capes. So great to the Mexican people for doing that. And it's all doing it because of their corrupted politician president. Who votes a girl politician that is Jewish and not Mexican? Would that make sense in a Spanish country like Mexico? If that doesn't if that doesn't make people realize how much corruption there is in the world as it is, I think that should. I think that alone for the Mexico people should, make them have started like from day one when she was voted in. There should have been chaos from day one. A female Jewish president that doesn't speak Mexican and it's not from Mexico. You understand what I mean? That I'm just in the most corrupted, drug-filled cartel country in the entire world. Yep, how do the police like it now? Not so much fun when there's brutality and turn on them. But that's in Mexico. If they ever tried to put that stuff in Canada, I can guarantee the next time it's not going to be peaceful. So that's just a heads up for them, because I know what's stirring around the corner, and I'm the guy that's actually, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. Calm your guys selves down. Stop, get off the steroids. It's never going to happen. Don't worry about it. Trust me on this. There's 10,000 and more. It grows every day, and of course it's underground. So we'll just leave it to that. But don't worry about it. I know it sucks, but I'm going to give you the best advice I can give people. It's this. All right. I'm going to give it. You can take it. You don't have to take it, but please take it. If you're finding it very hard to pay for bills, pay for food, pay for heating, guys, do like the immigrants do. Get a roommate, get some family members, get out of your apartment, get out of your house. If you have a house, this is the best time to sell your house, by the way, just to let you know. This is the best time to sell your house. If you have a house, because when the mortgage comes crashing down, your house is going to be worth crap. All right. And it's already started in Ontario, if you don't believe me. All right. Just to let you know. And it's going to come crashing with Carney's plan, his budget. You can guarantee that the housing market's going to crash. So you're better off right now selling your house to the retards that are going to go and pay $600,000 for a house that's worth $200,000. Get rid of it now, because you'll be making a good chunk of change. All right. Get rid of it now and get yourself an apartment. Get some roommates. Go live with a family member. Do what the immigrants do. Stop being Canadians and living so private. All right. Because we like our privacy. So when we as Canadians like our privacy with just you and the girlfriend, and you know what I mean? The problem with it, with this, like Sean says, I live by myself. I need my peace. Okay. But that's the problem. You want your peace and you live by peace. But the problem is you're going to suffer for it. You understand? You're going to suffer for it. I make good chunk of change. My girlfriend makes a good chunk of change. We make a good chunk of change. More than 70% of people make. And when we find it hard that we make it, but we don't have expenses to go do other things. You understand? Like I have a hockey tournament for my son this weekend. I have to do extra things on the side for part-time work, even though I do I do get a lot of money coming in, but I still got to go and get a part-time job with a friend who's a contractor to make ends meet. To spend, like when I go to my son's hockey tournament, it's about $1,000. He's got one this month, one the first week of December, then of course Christmas, and then one the first week of January. He's got a hockey tournament. The end of January, he's got a hockey tournament. One in February, one in March. Those are $1,000. All right, those are $1,000. So either way, so Dale goes, no, I like my house. I can hunt and fish on my yard. Okay, that's good, Dale. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying if you're finding it. If you're finding it very hard, I'm letting you know. All right. I'm finding someone said, then you don't have a home. Well, I mean, you're never going to have a home because when the mortgage rates go up, because they're going to squeeze you I think it's this year, December 2025, that the new, the remortgaging is coming up for a lot of people, like hundreds of thousands, if not, about hundreds of thousands. I think I seen. All right. I mean, when they remortgage, good luck trying to do the remortgaging. Good luck with the land tax, but to not have a house, what you don't understand is you have a house that's worth only $250,000, all right, and you sell it. Okay, you don't have a mortgage, great, Claude, that's perfect, and you go and you sell it, all right, for $600,000. For example, I'll give you an example. Claude and Marie, they don't have a mortgage. So let's pretend Claude and Marie have a $250,000 home and they can get $600,000 for it. All right. That's $350,000. All right. $350,000 profit that they're going to make. When the mortgage rates go down, the houses come down again because they're going to come down. That's $350,000 to buy another house. All right. Buy another house and have extra money left. Do you understand the concept? I hope you do. I hope you do. Like Donald, I just listed my house on Saturday, but I don't have a mortgage. Good. But do you understand? Your house is worth $250,000 in reality. You sell it for $500,000. All right. You got $250,000. You go get yourself an apartment. In the meantime, you put that $250,000 away. You wait till the housing market come back to reality. You have $250,000 to buy on another house. And if it's 250, great. You have a newer house, like no mortgage. If you buy a house for $200,000, you come out with $50,000 and your mortgage is paid. It's a very simple philosophy, guys. Just to let you know. All right. Wow, they buy a nice tent for that profit. Well, no, it's obviously the housing market. I don't know if you've seen in Toronto, but it's such a housing crisis right now. And I'm telling you guys now that there's about, I would say, 4 million immigrants that will have no choice. Their visas are running up. They're running out. And they have to go back. There's a lot have to go back before December 2025, just to let you know. They're not coming back. They have no choice. I mean, they're not coming back. So those are going to be a lot of empty homes. You understand? A lot of empty homes. And you know those landlords that were charging ridiculous prices? Well, they're going to be stuck with all these houses. And the banks are going to be seizing all these mortgages. You understand? Because when you have an immigrant, and there's 10 of them in the house, all right? When there's 10 of them in the house, you can jack up that to $4,000 for that rent because you know there's 10 of them in the house. So yeah, Michelle said, if I sell, then I'm going to get out of Canada. I don't want to stay here. I hate Canada. Yeah, we all hate Canada. And I've said this already for everybody. I already said this to you for you guys is like, if you want to live good, you're going to have to live together. You understand? That's what the immigrants do. That's why they can buy everything up. It's because they live together as a family. If you guys want to live your privacy, you're going to pay for it. Privacy, pay for it. So you're going to live paycheck to paycheck and counting your pennies. All right. So we'll just leave it like that. That's just advice. You can take it. You don't have to take it. But the marketing is going to crash even worse than 2009. The housing market is going to crash even worse than 2009 because the difference between now and 2009, we don't have 10 million, and I do say that number. We don't have 10 million like we had in 2009 of immigrants. But the money is not worth that anymore. I built a tiny home with no basement. It cost me $225 and sold my house for $230 and had a finished basement twice the size because the money is worth nothing. No, but everything's going to come back down eventually within a year. And I guarantee it's going to come down because Ontario's already feeling it and seeing it now. All right. Just to let you know, our money's not worth nothing now, but people are, I think it's mostly the liberal voters. They're buying now. Like on my street alone here, there was 4 houses up for sale, $600,000 homes that are not even worth 250 10 years ago. And this is the honest goodness truth. Not even worth 250. All right. Not even worth 250,000. There's $650,000 homes now on the street that I'm at. And I'll be honest with you, there would be no way in hell I would pay $600,000 for these homes. No way at hell, like nothing at all. The home that I'm in right now with the girlfriend, for me back 10 years ago, it was worth $250, $275. He wants $650,000 for this home. I'm like, well, you're nuts. If he tried putting it on the market and then he decided to rent it instead. Obviously, he thinks that it's going to go up higher. And I'm like laughing at him saying, it's not going to go higher, meatball. It's actually you're going to see, it's going to be a huge crash. But we'll just leave it to that. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for the market to crash so I can scoop something up. Just like Texas. Just to let you know. Texas, the homes are like $1 million homes. They're down to 400,000 in Texas. Don't believe me? Look it up. Just put up the Palestine flag up today and not one Canadian flag in sight. We don't want to get into that. It is what it is. It's all about division. All right. So let's share some things, guys, because I'm talking like an old lady at bingo, but stop it. Don't worry about the budget. Take that advice. It's going to happen. I'm glad it happened. We'll just leave it to that. And speaking of Mexico, check this out for the people that don't know about Mexico. Yeah, so those people they're not having it. And what's really disgusting is the actual police behind. I know they like their paycheck and stuff like that, but just doing it because I was told to do it, or you have no value, you have no morals when you go against your people. Because obviously they're not there because they want to be there. They're there because the whole country is going to crap. But the police don't care. As long as they have their paycheck, they don't care. So I have as much, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a brain fart, guys. I have no respect, I guess you could say, for any police officer, period. All right. Just doing their job is not something that has morals and values. Let's just put it that way. Speaking of no morals and values, I mean, let's look at it this way. Mark Carney, if you guys watched the Grey Cup yesterday, which I'm not a big football fan, especially the Grey Cup, Mark Carney got literally booed, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times booed within a 5-minute span. So what the fake news try to do, check this out. What the fake news try to do, you guys are going to love this one. The fake news made it sound that they weren't booing Carney. They were actually yelling out blue. Yeah, I'm not lying to you. They were actually, the fake news were saying they weren't booing Carney. They were yelling and shouting out blue for the Blue Bombers. Can you imagine how disgusting and that these people are to point that to lie on national TV? And if anybody watches that crap that actually believes this is true, this is why I'm all up when it comes to, and I can't say that. A lot of people say, Jeff, sometimes you bring out some side of you that, is you got to slow down when it comes to insulting people. And it's hard for me to calm myself down. If you watch the news, when you know what the difference of booing is, and them, the news saying they're shouting blue, as in blue bombers, because it's traditional at the Grey Cup. I get so angry because you actually do actually have people that do believe this shit. Okay. So here's another one with Carney. Check this one out, guys. Because like I said, they're going to be exposed on a daily basis. So apparently the Canada's chief of defense, who's a female, a woke female, we won't say any more about what I think about that person, walks back support to recruit public servants. So they're walking back on their statement to, remember I said on my last live that they're going to train public servants to serve in the military. Well, they're walking back on that. All right, another one. Check this out. So Carney has secured 42 contracts since becoming prime ministers. All contracts have been Brookfield Management. Canada is being looted. So if anybody doesn't know what Brookfield Management is, yeah, he was the CEO of Brookfield Management. He owns shares in Brookfield Management. So like I said, the more he stays in, guys, the better it is for the Liberal voters and the rest of Canada to find out how much corruption this piece of shit really is. And what happens is it's going to expose all the Liberal ministers, all the Liberal MPs, all of them for going with this, like this piece of shit right here. Gary, I can't pronounce his last name. We don't care. He came down here with a camel. So they're talking about the government is investing into 243 rental homes in the Scarborough area. We are bringing together developers, nonprofits, and government partners all across the country to build affordable homes for Canadians. Now, what Gary hasn't said, he doesn't mean Canadians. He means immigrants. I hate when they get those words wrong, when they say Canadians and immigrants or newcomers. I'll never call them newcomers. I'll always call them immigrants. Well, Jeff, you're an immigrant yourself. That's a crock of crap. An immigrant since 1600? Yeah, no, sorry. I don't buy into that shit. So speaking of other, Ontario news, look at this. The IRCC announced $103.5 million for capital costs that they're giving in into the Peel region for asylum seekers. Yeah, that's right, guys. $103 million for asylum seekers. And of course, you can't see the photo underneath, but you got a bunch of libtards in the photo with, of course, a turban head. And you got a turban, not a turban right beside him. You got another Muslim to shot two people down. You got another Muslim at the end. You got a Muslim with a hijab at the far left. Anyway, yeah, so it's, yeah. Asylum seekers is what they call them. Asylum seekers. I like that name. That they call it asylum seekers, just like how Trudeau used to bring up the whole diversity as a strength. They keep on saying asylum seekers, like these people are refugees and their country is all torn apart and they're escaping. They're escaping this war and stuff like that. They always bring that stuff up. It's pretty funny. Let's just put it that way. That's how I look at it. It's pretty funny. I don't take that serious at all. I got a bunch of stuff, guys, and I'm trying to get it all out. We got 25 minutes left. Let's go with a little bit of this. So let's stay on Canada before we get into the United States. A little bit more on Canada before we go into the United States. So for the people that live in New Brunswick that voted Liberal, check this out. I want you guys to see this. Does any of my viewers know, and I'm going to throw this out here, all right? Does any of my viewers know in New Brunswick, that live in New Brunswick, before this is, I think only the New Brunswickers would know this answer, all right? Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure. Before our last election, does anybody from New Brunswick know our Conservative Party that was running the province, even though I hated them for the whole pandemic bullshit? Does anybody know if we were running a surplus or a deficit before the last election. Let's just put it that way. How you doing, Nick from Toronto? He's not from Toronto. He's actually from here. He's just flying in back. So he's stuck in Toronto until I think your flight should be coming up pretty soon now, Nick, before you leave Toronto to get back here. So does anybody know in New Brunswick? So Mo says surplus. All right. Anybody in New Brunswick? Do you remember, were we in a deficit or a surplus before last year at this time before the election where it went from conservative to liberals? Does anybody from New Brunswick know? Surplus, anything? A surplus of 700 million. Yeah, Vincent's right. We had a surplus a year ago. Check this out, guys. All right. We had a surplus of $700 million. It's around 700. No, not a deficit. We had a surplus. Believe it or not, New Brunswick had a surplus. All right. Now, I want you guys to check this out. Right now, New Brunswick projects to hit a deficit, the highest deficit in 2 decades of $834.7 million. You don't even know how disgusted I am right now. New Brunswick projects to hit the highest deficit in 2 decades of $834.7 million. Guys, that's only been a year with that twat. And I hate to use the word twat, but I like to use the other word, but I can't because this is a family channel, I guess you could say. Yeah, that woke piece of, it gets worse. That gets worse. Hold on. I just want to get your reactions. That's it. 800 million, 847 or whatever, 800 million deficit. And it's only been in power for a year. Okay, but it gets worse. How does it get worse, Jeff? Well, check this out. Within 3 years, we won't even have enough electricity down here. All right? We won't even have enough electricity. I shared that. That's the wrong one. That was the wrong one. But anyway, we won't have, they're saying that our electricity, if we don't bring up our another sort of electricity like nuclear or diesel, we are going to run out of electricity the way our Liberal Party in New Brunswick is going. We are going to be with no electricity in the next 3 years if she keeps continuing with this climate change, green slush bullshit. And I had the article for it, and I don't know where I put it. I thought that was it, but I guess it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But I have the article, guys, that will be screwed in 3 years in New Brunswick. And with this climate change, wokeism crap. Speaking of climate change, you guys will like this video. Check this minute video out with the person that literally invented the Weather Channel.
I resent you calling me a denier. That is a word meant to put me down. I'm a skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear, Mr. Kenney's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did, because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a lot of cable news.
Now, hold on just a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney, and yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform, and I regret it's become political instead of scientific, but the science is on my side.
Yeah, so we all know I still have some people that talk about it. It bothers me when they say climate change, and I still hear it on a daily basis, and they're still pushing it out especially with the infrastructure minister. I don't even know his name, what it is by Carney. He's still bringing out terminology with climate change. So I think that will be enough for Canada because, again, I really don't give a shit. I hate to say that for what happens in Canada because it's all what happens in the United States that affects the world. You understand? So whatever happens in the United States affects the world. And that's why I'd like to focus the rest of the 20 minutes on United States, because if United States goes down, which it won't now, but if it ever went down, you can guarantee we're wiped off. You can guarantee we will have digital ID. You can guarantee we'll have a one world government. You can guarantee Muslims will have their one world religion. You can guarantee social credit. You can guarantee all of that. All right? All of that. UBI, Universal Basic Income. You can guarantee all that if the United States ever fell. So what's happening now, you're hearing the news plaster everything with the Epstein, Trump, Epstein. But I'm going to give you a very, very good common sense sentence. All right? I'm going to give you a very good common sense sentence that if anybody says, well, Trump's a rapist, he's with Epstein. I'm going to give you a very common sense question. And I've already did it, but this person wrote it out. But check this out. If the Democrats had any dirt on Trump's connection to Epstein, it would have been headline news back in 2016. Use your brain. And that's completely true. You can't ask for any good common sense because back in 2016, the only thing they could try is this Russian hoax, which everybody knows now Russian hoax was a complete lie, right? So a lot of people are going down for it, as we should know. And then this one was funny today. So Hakeem Jeffries, which is a big piece of shit, he just got ambushed. So anyway, reporter hits him with the question Democrats feared. Why should Americans trust you on the Epstein files when your own member was texting Epstein, good job, during the 2019 hearing? Jeffries panicked, he dodged, and he fled. Yeah, that's a lot of proof that are coming out with the whole Epstein and the Democrats. And let's keep in mind, I'm going to show you a video. All right, I'm going to show you a video. It's actually not long at all. It's where are we here? Where is where's oh yeah, right here. So check this out. Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House, literally came out and said, and I want you guys to hear, all right? So get your hearing aids out. If you got hearing aids, put them on. I want you guys to listen to what Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, literally said about Donald Trump and Epstein. And you guys tell me what the answer is. So are you ready? This is a challenge for you.
Many times.
It comes across as he's calling the whole thing a hoax.
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrats who are doing this with...
Did you hear what he said? What was the answer? There, yeah, Debbie's got it. FBI informant since 2009. That's right. Actually, I think it was 2007. For some reason, I don't know why I said 2009. I don't know if it's 2007, 2009. Yes, Trump was an FBI informant in 2007 or 2009. Is it an FBI informant, or was that the year that I told you guys about Trump being approached by the military, right? By the military back in 2009 with Obama being a fake president, wasn't born, what the whole plan was going to be. Trump turned them down. They came back and said, we need you in because the next plan is with Hillary Clinton, and this is what the plan's going to be, and this is what she's going to do. She's going to literally destroy the country with a nuclear weapon and blame it on Russia, and it's going to start World War III, and it would be completely shattered. Like United States would be completely, off the war. So yeah, common sense. Everyone knows Trump banned Epstein from his hotels, his golf courses. Like I think it was 2002, 2003. I can't remember if it's 2002, 2003, where he banned Epstein when he found out what Epstein tried to do at Mar-a-Lago with one of his workers. So, but the whole point of all of this is this video. Check this out.
Speaker Mike Johnson just revealed that Donald Trump has been an FBI informant since 2006 and been heavily involved in the taking down of Jeffrey Epstein, confirming what most of us have been saying all along and reassuring us that everything is on track. So just keep on popping that popcorn, because things are about to get really interesting. Make sure you leave a comment, like, and share. Have a great night, everyone.
So 2006. I knew it was 2000, and I thought it was 2007. Okay, but 2006. We'll take that. All right. But it's very simple. The reason why they're doing this. Why do you think? The question I ask you guys is this, and I think you guys will get the answer. All right. Yeah. Why do you guys think this whole thing that the news and the Democrats are literally bringing up, and they're flooding all the news channels with this Epstein BS? Because let's be real, guys. This is in 2019 that Jeffrey Epstein literally hung himself. All right, literally. So why do you guys? Because I'm going to get some answers from you guys. Why do you think they're bringing this up right now as we speak? So let's get some answers before we move on, and let's try to hurry up because we only got 13 minutes, and I've got all kinds of things to show you guys. Why do you guys think the news are all plugging this Epstein with Trump again? Because 2016, when he won, it was Russia, 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 right? For all his whole term. All right. What's this? For those still sleep too bad, plenty of information. Okay, to make the Dems want it to come out before they think Trump involved. Yeah, but for what? It's a distraction. It's a distraction, but they're distracting from what? Obviously, they're trying to hurt him. All right, but it's not hurting. It's actually working against them. So it's a distraction. All right. So check this out. I think you guys will like this. I'm not going to play the whole 6-minute video, but I'm going to give you. Actually, Jesse Waters is going to give you the answer, which I already knew what the answer was. But check this out.
Democrats want you to forget all about the shutdown shellacking. So they're launching a smear campaign disguised as a bombshell. The Jeffrey Epstein emails. Congress is dumping thousands of documents, and Democrats are using them to frame Trump. But we've been combing through them and can't find anything nailing Trump. Even Axios says the emails contained no real smoking gun. The files do show Epstein's deep ties to liberals, like anti-Trump author Michael Wolff. He colluded with Epstein on how to blackmail Trump. Wolff told Epstein in 2015, if you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. Why is Wolff giving a pedophile PR advice and coaching him to take down the president? That wasn't the only writer Epstein colluded with. A New York Times reporter gave Epstein a heads up that a former cop was investigating him for a book. That reporter was pushed out of the company after they found he asked Epstein for a $30,000 donation. Larry Summers, who worked for Bill Clinton and Obama, was also pen pals with Epstein. He was asking him for tips on women.
So yeah, I think you guys get, it's a whole distraction because of the whole 40 days that they shut down, and they literally destroyed a lot of things in the United States. So as everyone's freaking out about all of that, and the real news was coming out that it was the Democrats stopping the vote to get it back going again. This is their distraction. It's a smoke screen. Thank you, Juanita. It's a smoke screen to take the pressure off the Democrats because they're if I'm not mistaken, their midterms are coming. All right, their midterms are coming. I don't know if it's in January or February or March for my American family. Wasn't it 43 days? Yeah, I don't know if it was 43 or 45. It was in the 40s anyway. It's the longest in history. So with that being said, their midterms are coming around the corner. So obviously they don't want to be known as the bad guys. So they're doing whatever they need to do, to try to take the distraction, to take the heat off of what they caused. I mean, these people are dumb as you can imagine. They really are dumb. I mean, it's just so hard on how to believe how they got into being voted in. I don't understand how they were so hard. And speaking of so hard, check this out. You know, if Trump is so hard to deal with, then why? Because this is what Carney said. If Trump is so hard to deal with, then why has he made deals with over 11 countries plus 27 countries of the EU since implementing his tariffs? Yet Canada, the country directly connected to the largest economy in the world, can't. Seems to be that Trump isn't the issue, Carney is. Yeah, so with the Liberals saying that Trump is hard to deal with, why did all these other countries get a deal with him? So yeah, and this was the NB Power, guys. This is what I was talking about. With the NB Power, I know you guys can't see that, but he says within the next 3 years, it's going to be in New Brunswick will have no power in New Brunswick, and I'm going to leave that as it is. Whoops, leave that as it is, because you know what, it is what it is. I don't personally think she'll last. Especially when people find out about the $842 million deficit that New Brunswick is in. I got a feeling something's going to happen with that. You know, AKA why I'm trying to think about doing a party, a political party as it is. Okay, so with that being said, let's go with this. I have to double click that. Hold on, guys. All right. With that being said, I'm trying to get out of here, and I don't know what I did to mess that up. Let me see. Okay, so what we've been hearing also with the Donald Trump thing is obviously the $1 billion that he's suing the BBC for doing a video that didn't make any sense. They lied about his January 6th speech, and now you got CNN. CNN exonerates President Trump of any wrongdoing regarding Epstein. We want to be clear, Trump didn't receive or send any messages. He has not been accused of any wrongdoing, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, they're protecting themselves now, CNN, even though I don't think it's going to work for them, to be honest with you, because they are pieces of, human feces for what they've done in the past since 2016, 10 years now, that they've been literally talking bad about him. Let's see what else. I don't know what's going on here, guys, because I'm trying to get all my stuff. I don't know what happened, but it just blew up. Too big for me to scroll down, which I don't understand why it's not scrolling down. I don't know why it's not scrolling down. All right. Either way, I can't fix it now, but I'll try to fix it obviously after the show, but I can't get to the bottom part of my screen here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe if I double click it. I don't know what I did. Okay. It is what it is. I won't be able to show you guys my outro video, which I know you guys would love my outro video because it's such a great video. Either way, there's a few things that I want to talk about. Is this SNAP is going to make every recipient. So now with the whole SNAP thing that they did with the Liberal Party, now with the SNAP thing, what's going to happen is now the people have to reapply for SNAP because there is literally benefits being paid to nearly 200,000 dead people. So 500,000 recipients are double dipping. This is just data from 29 mostly red states. Can you imagine when they get their hands in the blue state data of how bad it's going to be? And that's just in the red states of all that corruption of people collecting SNAP. Can you imagine when they get to the blue states? That's going to even be 10 times higher. What was this? I had this from Trump too. And Trump literally said it. In other words, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try and deflect from their massive failures, in particular, their most recent one, which is the shutdown. Obviously, Trump has been exposing them. Some people are taking it. Some people aren't. Either way, it is what it is. As long as the news, they have this thing. It's called programming. They have it in studies that as long as they keep repeating and repeating what they say, it's called programming for a reason, that people are going to abide by it. They're going to be programmed to believe it. You understand? So that's why if you see every news channel, they're always reporting the same BS, because they'll constantly keep on programming it, because they're going to they have this study showing that they believe that if they keep on saying it, repeat after repeat after repeat, that people will eventually believe in it. All right, just to let you know. What else? What was this one? So we all know about the Ukraine thing, guys. Well, the thing about Ukraine that that I want to show, and I don't think I'll be able to because it's not going to let me. Oh yeah, and that's another thing before we get to Ukraine. Trump just said that he's going to use the full power of the DOJ to go after the Clintons and the rest of the Epstein's actual friends. The Dems just walked into a trap. The left were being baited into caring about Epstein because they thought it implicated Trump. So I said this before. I said this concept before when people were saying, oh my God, Trump doesn't want to bring out the Epstein files. Remember how people were saying, oh my God, he said the Epstein files were not worth it. That was reverse psychology. And I was completely 100% right about the reverse psychology, because he knew if he said, who cares about the Epstein files? Who cares about the Epstein files? I'll ask you guys what that meant when he said about that. All right, let's just do this. Why did Trump back in the past, a month or 2 months ago, say, who cares about the Epstein files? Why are you guys talking about the Epstein files? There's other things to talk about. What was he doing that for? Do you guys know why? I give you guys the answer before, but why do you think he was doing that? Anybody get the answer for that before we almost close shop here? Does anybody have the answer of why Trump would go and say that? Come on. What's the answer, guys? I know you guys got to have the answer to this. All right. What's the answer? Because I know somebody's got to have the answer. It's reverse psychology. Yeah, he was baiting them. He was baiting them. You know why? Because he knew if he said, why you guys keep on talking about the Epstein files, he knew all the news would jump on it. He was baiting them. He had it out there just waiting for, because he wanted everybody's attention. He wanted everybody in the United States and in the world to be front and center about the Epstein files. That's what he does. He brings them out, puts them front and center. Now everybody's paying attention to it. Now look what happened. Boom. That's going to demolish anybody. It's going to demolish anybody that voted Democrat, except the real tards. Okay, you can't help those people. But it brought out a whole different light. Let's just put it that way. Whole different front and center. He did it. He did us a favor for the people that were still asleep. And he's doing the same thing to Marjorie Greene, in case you guys are wondering. With Marjorie Greene, check this out. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a disgrace to our great Republican Party. So if you guys think he's trashing Marjorie Greene, all right, Taylor Greene, if you think he's trashing her, he's doing this on purpose. They're setting them up again. They're literally, they just don't learn. That's how stupid these people are. They just don't learn. I mean, if Jeff Freedom knows the answers of what's going on, and I don't consider myself the smartest guy in the world, but I mean, at the end of the day, I do have a PhD in common sense and street smart. That there's no doubt about it. But I mean, you think they would figure it out by now of what's happening, but they just can't help themselves. They just can't help themselves. So like this retard right here, check this out. The Chicago mayor on live TV asked the United Nations to intervene against the U.S. government to stop ICE raids. Can you imagine what this guy, let's just see what you guys think. When you have a TV on live TV, a Chicago mayor asking the UN nations to intervene against the U.S. government to stop ICE raids, what do you think this piece of shit is actually trying to do when he's asking the UN nations, huh? What do you guys think? What do you guys think he's trying to do? Treason? Okay, yeah, no, that's what he's trying to do. But he's literally trying to start a war, right? So he's literal front and center trying to start a war with the UN, which, I mean, you have to be a complete moron. I don't know if it's the dreadlocks in his head. I don't know if he got hit with too many basketballs, or how many bikes he stole when he was younger, or the drugs he must have done. But at the end of the day, he's trying to start a civil war. So he is literally watch and see what happens to him. Watch and see what happens to him in the future and his political career, along with that Crockett, the hoodlum rat herself, Crockett. That's it, guys. That's going to be the hour. Listen, I am sorry. I literally cannot go down on my screen, on my StreamYard, to get you guys my closing video, which you guys would have loved my closing video. You would have been laughing your asses off. I'm not going to do it because I can't get down. I can't scroll down. I'm not the most computer guy because it won't let me scroll down for some reason. But I wish I did know what the hell I did to mess it up. So I can't get down to scroll down here. Because I want to show you guys my video. Yeah, it won't let me go down. And I think I'm going to screw things up if I go any further. So either way, guys, what I'll do is on my next live, I'll show you guys my outro, which you guys are going to laugh your butts off. And we'll see you guys Thursday night. Thursday night, I will be in Quebec. So because my son's tournament. So if I do my live, it's going to be from in my truck to let you know, in my vehicle or at the place I'm staying. Either way, I'll try to do the live, but it ain't going to be from my home. Obviously, it's going to be in Quebec. I love you guys all. I can't do the outro video. It sucks. I don't know what I did wrong. I messed up somehow, and but I'll try to fix it when I'm offline. Anyway, I love you guys all. Thank you for coming out. Take care. And like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. I'll see you Thursday. And don't worry. Be happy. Yes, the budget is here, but it's going to expose what the Liberal Party really are. We're going to feel the pinch. So start doing a budget of your own and what you can spend and what you can't spend. And at the end of the day, it will get worse before it gets better. I didn't come up with that line. Obviously, you've heard that before. It will get worse before it gets better. We are in the worst part, and it's going to get even worse, more, if that even makes sense, more worse. It's going to get worser before it gets better. We're going to feel the pinch, but trust me when I tell you there will be an election in spring, and we will have the Liberal Party back down to 30, 40 seats like they were back down last year in January, December with Justin Trudeau. It's just history repeats, I guess is the best way to put it. History repeats. So I love you guys all. We'll see you back Thursday. Have a good night, and adios, amigos.